Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my 2002 Honda Civic again, codename Project Always, and you'll see why that makes sense in the very near future as well. And by the way, if you don't know the band Always, I highly recommend checking them out, and that's spelled Alvvays. Anyway, on to today's project. I'm going to keep this video pretty brief. But I'm finally starting a project that I've been excited about for a couple months now, which is the, if any of you have seen the Starlight Headliner that comes as an option in the new Rolls Royce. It's something I've been pretty keen to tackle. So my fiber optic kit has come in. I have some Suede on order that I should have in the next day or so. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm really hoping the final result is sort of going to be what I have in my mind's eye and kind of what I've seen online, but I'm pretty excited. It's one of the mods I think I've been looking the most forward to doing since I first saw pictures of it in someone else's car. So yeah, once again, hope you guys enjoy, and I am out. Alright, so before we get started here, I'll just show you guys a very quick view of the factory headliner. That's it there. I've already started to do some disassembly, taking out the rear C-pillars and some of the trim on the door there. So you can see it's just sort of a pretty standard, factory gray headliner material. So we're going to be changing that to black suede, and then we'll have the Starlight headliner in there once it's complete. So yeah, not much more to say. I'm gonna set up the GoPro now and show you guys a nice time lapse, and hopefully everything turns out looking good. All right, bye bye. And just like that, the headliner is out. So now I gotta drag this bad boy upstairs, start tearing off the fabric, laying out all the dots for the stars, and doing a heck of a lot of gluing. All right, wish me luck, guys. Hey guys, we're back again here in my living room now. As you can see, I've got the headliner kind of splayed out on the floor there. Put a blanket down just to protect my carpet. So what I spent some time doing here is actually taking apart the sun visors, which actually were a lot more straightforward than I thought. It seems that Honda, in their infinite wisdom, and it was quite wise, hi Brooklyn, that they just clipped the two pieces together. So essentially I just worked my way around the outside with a panel removal tool. I split them in half. There are the colors. I actually labeled them just for my own sanity, for when I go to recover them tomorrow. So the thing that I actually learned here, and by the way, that's the back side of the headliner that you're seeing there. What I actually learned is that when you're recovering in suede, because the suede doesn't have a foam backing, it's fairly thin material, whereas the headliner actually does have a thin layer of foam on it, which is why it's designed, that material sort of designed to cover roof panels and things like that. You can actually just wrap the suede over the old material if it's in good condition, and in this particular case I will show you it's actually in very good condition. It's not sagging down or anything like that. So what I think I'm going to do for just ease of installation, and just, also to keep a little bit of that nice padding there, I'm going to wrap tomorrow, once I have the suede, I'm going to wrap the headliner over, or rather put this suede over the old material. Now with these, I guess I got a little bit of my head of myself there taking them apart, but that's okay. And my cat stepping on them is fine as well. Because I think what I will do, once I have the material, I'm going to sort of lay this out as a template, trace the suede, and then maybe glue the two halves sort of together, and then install it back in the actual head visor plastic frame, and then sort of maybe put a bead of glue around the outside and snap it back together or something like that. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Today, I mean, it's not that late in the day, it's only about 6 o'clock, but to be quite honest, I'm feeling quite tired, and I've still got one more thing to do. The big thing for tonight's going to be to put the 200 little dots all around the back of the headliner, so tomorrow, once I've got this thing wrapped and I'm able to actually start poking the little holes through for the fibers, I'll know sort of where everything's going to go, basically a map, if you will. And so once tomorrow comes, I'll kind of show you guys the special glue that I'm using, as well as the material that I bought. I'll go a little bit more in depth into that, and I'll show you the actual fiber optics as well, and how that's all going to work. But yeah, until then, I'm going to get on this, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. Alright guys, it's morning. Well, actually it's more like afternoon, but I'm actually just picking up the fabric. I've got the roll of suede, as you can see there. Just picked it up from my supplier. So I'm gonna probably zip out, grab some lunch, head back home. I've already done a few other things to the vehicle this morning, sort of off camera. I installed the little controller box for the fiber optics, and also took the opportunity to do some sound deadening on the roof of the vehicle as well. And I will show you guys that in the video. And yeah, that's it for now. All right. Hey guys, I'm back in my living room here. So I'm just getting ready to actually start installing the suede on top of my old headliner. And I just thought I would show you guys kind of some of the stuff that I did last night, as well as the glue that I'm going to use for the job, and then the actual suede that I bought, which is quite nice. Yeah, so let me show you that now. Okay, so here's what I've got here. I actually have a couple different options for glue. The stuff I'm probably going to use is the Worth Extra Strong Spray Glue. It lists it actually as being used for foams and headliner materials and things like that, so I think that'll be perfect. Also the 3M General Trim Adhesive I have available as well. I might even use a combination of both. I'm just going to kind of see how it goes. I've used the 3M stuff before. I've not used the Worth, so like I said, I'll just have to see how it goes and sort of its level of tackiness, and then kind of decide from there. But here we've got the headliner, so let's pull back a little bit there so you guys can see. So yeah, as you can see, it's in pretty good shape. So I'm just gonna wrap over the old fabric, and I think that'll actually keep sort of a nice cushion on it, because once the suede is installed, you'll have this underneath with the layer of foam that's there. So I think if you were to reach up and touch it, still feel nice and soft and plush, which is what I like. And yeah, here are, once again, there's one of the visors. So yeah, I haven't really figured out my exact game plan for those yet, but I think I'm gonna start covering the headliner first, and once I'm done doing that, then I'll turn to those. And here is the suede that I bought. About a couple yards. I know it's probably a little bit hard to see, but that's the material there. That's the back, actually. That being the front side that you'll see, as you can see. It's very nice, very soft. Yeah, not much else to say. Oh, actually, one more thing I'd like to point out. Something I did off camera yesterday was every single bit of gray plastic that was attached to the headliner. So these pieces for the visors, plus the grab handle, the coat hook, and all the other little bits and bobs that you don't see here, I actually spent the time to sort of clean them up and then coat them with a coat of SEM or SEM, I'm not sure how you say it, trim paint that's used and meant to be used for vinyls, plastics, rubbers, etc. And then I just kind of actually let them bake inside my car for most of the day yesterday and then some of the day today. So I think the paint should be pretty durable. For me, you know, doing the headliner, I see a lot of people do these and they don't, you know, they'll change the color of the headliner material, but they don't do the same with all the trim pieces, and to me that really makes it look like crap. I mean, if you're gonna do something, spend the extra time, you know, the 30 bucks on a can of spray paint of the color that you need, do it properly, people. Make it look nice, make it look factory, or at least OEM plus, which is kind of what I'm going for here. So I'm gonna get to it, and hopefully the next time you see this, it will be covered, and then I've got to get started actually punching out all the holes for the stars, which I've marked out on the back. All right, wish me luck, guys. Alright guys, I'm back after a couple hours. The Suede is done. I think it looks pretty good. I know right now it might look a little wonky, just, you know, because of the cutouts of the holes and stuff. I know like this is a little rough and this is a little rough, but that's fine because they're going to get covered up by the mirror and dome lights, etc. But overall, I think it turned out pretty nice. Suede is a little harder to wrap than what I expected, especially some of these lines and stuff here. A couple little tiny wrinkles, but I'm not too worried about them because that's up near the windshield, so you probably really won't see it. And you know, everywhere else, you know, in the middle, the center, all the areas that are going to be important, I think looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get back on it. I got to do the fiber optic stars now. It's gonna be a lot of hot glue and probably a lot of burnt fingers. Okay, see you soon. Alright guys, here it is, many hours later. I'm exhausted, what can I say, but all the fiber optics have been glued, at least as far as I can tell. It's kind of a spaghetti nightmare there, organized chaos. But yeah, just want to give you the quick update, and hopefully I'm gonna go try to get this in the car now and everything goes smooth. Still lots of things left to do though. Alright. Hey guys, it's now day 3, still on this headliner project. I actually ended up taking another day off of work just to complete it. Basically, just texted my boss and told her, yeah, I think I bit off a little bit more I can chew with a project I'm currently working on. So if I could please just get an extra day off, I'll be back Wednesday. And she was all good with that. So thanks to Brenda, my boss at Mercedes-Benz Oakville, much appreciated. Yeah, any case, we're back on the project today. As you can see in the background there, hopefully you can see it. I'm just gonna kneel down here. There's the headliner, and it's essentially complete. I tested out the fiber optics last night. It's all good, which I'm super happy with. Yeah, so for today, I've got basically these guys here. That's the sun visors. I kind of started semi-wrapping one last night. Didn't really get too far. It was about 8 or 9 o'clock. I've been working all day, so kind of had to throw in the towel at that point. But here we are again today. I'm going to get started, and yeah, hopefully that's the final sort of big piece to the puzzle. The last piece will just be putting everything, you know, back together and reassembly in the vehicle, which I will show you guys. Okay, I'm going to get to it. Pitter patter, let's get at her. It's finally the end of day 3. Whew, bit off a little more than I can chew with this project, I think, but oops, sorry about that. But finally, pretty much rolling to completion here. I'm just about to get into the reassembly phase inside the car. As you can see above me, something that I did off camera, one of the things I did off camera was I actually installed some sound dampening on the ceiling. It was on a bucket list of things to do to this car eventually. So I figured now is as good as time as any to do it. If you look sort of behind me and over there, that's the control box for the fiber optic Starry ceiling. So spent a bit of time wiring that up, just running the wire loom through the ceiling and stuff, making sure everything's good and there's not going to be any issues with shorts. I tapped it into the factory fuse location. It is fused, so it is safe and proper and will come on and off with the key in the accessory or on position. So yeah, not too much else to say other than that, surprisingly to me, aside from gluing 200 little strands of plastic fiber into the headliner, which was insane, many hot glue gun burns to my fingers later, the second hardest part of this project was actually rewrapping the sun visors. I've never worked with Suede before, so you know, I knew there'd be some shortcomings as opposed to working with other more stretchable fabrics, but it wasn't my finest effort, but I gave it a valiant effort, and I think they look pretty good, and I will show you guys pictures, probably some video towards the end of this build. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Hopefully some of you out there are watching and thinking, I can do this too, because if you put in the time, you will get it done, and the results, when I show you, are actually pretty stunning. Okay, thanks guys, and we'll see you soon. Hello everybody, it's now 6 months in the future, as you may have guessed, looking at the Christmas tree in the background. I thought I would put together a little list here of some final talking points before I show you guys the end result of how the project looked. The first one was it worth it? And yeah, I would say even though there was a lot of extra effort involved in this than I planned for, it was totally worth it. I was really blown away by the final result, and everybody that's seen the car, and especially that sat inside, just absolutely loves it and is mesmerized by it. So yeah, I would say it was definitely worth it. Issues. Biggest issue I ran into was wrapping the sun visors. It was a much bigger project in and of itself than I thought. It took me an entire extra day. I suppose I could have researched that a little bit better after seeing some of the YouTubers do it and actually give up and get a professional to do it, but I'm glad I did it myself. The real lesson here is when you do a big project like this and you haven't got into something like that before, just plan for extra time, at least an extra 35% than what you think you'll need. Level of difficulty. I'd probably put this at a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I didn't find a lot of it that difficult other than the sun visors. It was more time consuming than anything else. You know, if you do your research and you take your time and you're careful and methodical, it's not that complicated. There's just a bunch of steps involved in it. So, you know, just follow the instructions that you read about and that you see as well as you can. You'll be fine. It'll turn out great. Advice to others. Once again, just take your time with things and plan for extra time. That would be my biggest piece of advice. The cost. The final costs, they're going to tally out, including the kit, the suede, and the glue. I would say probably under $200, and I'm sure you could get it even cheaper than that if you really look around. The kit itself's about 80 bucks, the suede around the same, and the glue probably between $30 to $60. One thing I should mention though with the glue, because I didn't really talk about it enough earlier in the video, although I meant to, when you're doing the gluing, if you're using a spray glue like I did, you want to do a cross-thatch pattern, which I didn't think to do and I didn't know to do at the time. And what happened in the summertime when it was really hot, the rear part of the headliner actually came down in the heat and I had to go back and re-glue it, which was very difficult. So whenever you're doing spray gluing, cross-thatch pattern, that's going to make sure you get even coverage and everything sticks properly so you won't have the issue that I did in the future. Another thing I mentioned in the video that I kind of touched on was that I'm kind of dubbing this Project Always, and I don't know if you can see in the background there, but in my Christmas tree right now, that's not an ornament, that is the actual license plate off my car. It's in storage right now, so that's why I have the plate off of it. Is the name Always. So that is my favorite band. They're someone I discovered a couple years ago. They're a wonderful Canadian indie rock band, and just music that really touches me in a deep way. And to me, it's all about music and sound, which is something I hope to speak about more going down the road in the future. In the meantime, I highly recommend looking them up. You can find them easily on YouTube, Pandora, Google Play Music, anywhere that you would normally get your music from. So always check them out. So yeah, I guess with that, that's really about it. I hope you guys will, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm definitely going to have more videos coming down the pipe. This series is actually going to be called Built Not Bought, and I'm dubbing it that because really for me, at the end of the day, not only am I kind of cheap in some ways and trying to be frugal, but when you build something yourself, you're going to learn a lot of things, and you're going to have a lot more pride. And in most cases, it's going to turn out better than having someone else do it anyway, because it'll be done exactly the way that you wanted it and the way that you envisioned it. So there's going to be more to come. So I hope you guys will subscribe. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and take care, guys. Thanks a lot.